Hello and welcome to Spirit Touched. What the Holy Spirit does is draw out and enhance the real us that's deep down inside. His wind will bend you, but it will never break you. That's how he brings us to that walk in newness of life. It's Jesus who baptizes us in the Holy Spirit. Galatians 5:22-23 is how we get Luke 2:52 in the RSV. And other ways, the Holy Spirit deals with each person differently as needed. Some of us just need more work than others. Anyone, including the church, who tries to put us back under the law or to our old selves is denying the work of the Holy Spirit and interfering with Him. That's a big mistake on all their part, and they will be dealt with. Jeremiah 31:33, KJV. Always remember, He works from the inside out as we allow Him. So if you need to make some life changes, give Him permission. John 16:17-19. What sin is it the Holy Spirit convicts the world of? The sin of unbelief in Jesus. All the others stem from it. Unbelief is a rejection of Jesus, who He is, and all He stands for, and what He came to earth to do. Acts 2:23 and 37 in the RSV. Unbelief comes from a spirit of rebellion. It shows arrogance. It limits what the Trinity can do in your life. Yet there's John 3:17 in the RSV. We think sin is breaking the law when what it really is bondage. Romans 3:23 and 1 John 1:8 and John 8:34 in the RSV. Unbelief is a lack of trust in the Lord. There are no excuses with God. 1 John 1:19 and 2 Corinthians 1:20 in the RSV. We have no reason to be scared of the Holy Spirit, and yet most people are. Satan sucks the freedom out of us. The Holy Spirit only wants us to be free. Not only does He help us, but He uses us to help others. Make sure your welcome mat is out for Him. Unlike Satan, the Holy Spirit will never trespass on our private property. Ephesians 4:25-32 and Isaiah 61:3. This is why we need to put on that garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness and sing in the spirit with understanding so we can magnify the Lord. Think of the Holy Spirit as a Zamboni, something used to a Zamboni smoothing out our rough edges because He doesn't want us to be one-dimensional. Ezekiel 11:19. Lots of people, especially guys, think that they can do it all by themselves. They don't need anyone else. The British call it having a stiff upper lip. God calls it stubbornness. This can bring about isolation that leads to serious depression because they just can't deal with showing their emotions. It's okay to cry when you are hurting or when the road feels the load feels way too heavy. What they don't realize is that God bottles up our tears. They are precious to Him. Those tears are what soften our hearts. Matthew 19:8. There are tears that show you are sorry for your wrongdoing. Psalms 95:8 and Hebrews 3:7 through 11. Don't let this happen to you. Hebrews 3:13, Ephesians 4:17 and 30 through 32. Take those sins out of the harbor and give them to the Lord. Mark 3:5 and chapter 8:17 and Romans 2:1 through 5. The only righteousness we can ever claim is what God gives us because we don't have any by ourselves. It's the Holy Spirit who warms our cold hearts. Luke 19:41 and 42. Yes, Jesus wept over the death of his friend Lazarus, but he also wept over Jerusalem because it was filled with hate and violence. Tears are the evidence that the power of the Holy Spirit is there and moving. Yes, there are other kinds of tears, but these kind are the best. 2 Corinthians 7:6. The Holy Spirit would say to us that we can weep. Hold on to those who weep, to you who do weep. Hold on, my child. Joy comes in the morning. I'm so ready for that joy in the morning. Refusing to cry is a sign of pride. Tears can start the healing process. Not crying can grieve the Holy Spirit. It causes the heart to harden and builds walls between us, the Holy Spirit, and those who would help us. The Holy Spirit does the spiritual healing, and Yahweh Rapha does the physical healing. The Holy Spirit doesn't just comfort us in times of sorrow, He gives us the strength to get through it. It's where the courage to get through comes from. That's why we can sing to Him, "You make me brave." Romans 14:4. The Holy Spirit brings depth and resonance that can fill our emptiness, making us feel like we really matter because we do. He is the one who lifts us up to more than we could ever be by ourselves. I love that song. It's one we can sing to Him as a way of thanking Him. Romans 8:26 and 27 RSV. Our prayers are important to Him. He needs us to ask so He can give. Yes, He can give without us asking, and He does. The prayer He gave the disciples is meant to be a pattern as well as a prayer. So put on the garment of praise for the spirit of holiness. Lift up your voice and sing, sing in the spirit and with understanding. Oh, magnify the Lord. It's just part of the prayer plan. The rest came when that Holy Spirit with that Holy Spirit, John 16:24, at that Pentecost. The plan was complete. Now God receives the prayers. Jesus pleads our case and pleads our cause. Holy Spirit is the prayer within us. So let Him do the praying when you don't know how. You may send your prayer requests to He Answers, TWO, @gmail.com.